But research out there in the real world is increasingly pointing to the conclusion that housing doesn't have as much of an impact on happiness as we might expect. So for example, researchers in Germany recently tracked thousands of people who moved to a new home because there was something about their old home they didn't like. Now, at first glance, it seems like moving worked out pretty well. After moving, people exhibited a significant increase in satisfaction with their housing. But their satisfaction with their lives didn't budge. So this work, along with other research, suggests that when it comes to happiness, moving to a newer, nicer home might be overrated. So let's take a second look at that ticket to space. If you go to Virgin Galactic's website and download their brochure, you'll see pages and pages of beautiful shots of the Earth from space, futuristic images of suborbital space travel. But the cover of the brochure is a simple gray, adorned only with the words of Mark Twain. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. Now, this is clever marketing. If you want to convince people to plunk down $250,000 for something that doesn't quite exist yet, you better convince them they won't regret it. But it also turns out to be true. When people are asked to look back on their past spending decisions, their biggest regrets have to do with the experiences they didn't buy. That spring break trip that all their friends went on, they decided not to go, and everyone spent the rest of college talking about. In contrast, just the opposite is true when it comes to material things. With material things, people regret what they did buy. The laptop that turned out to be a lemon, the smartphone that was great for everything but phone calls. The trouble with material things is that they're easy to compare. It's easy for me to see that your laptop battery lasts longer than mine and to feel bad about my decision as a result. In contrast, experiences seem unique. They're very difficult to compare, and this helps to inoculate us against traditional buyer's remorse. So for me personally, the worst vacation I ever took, hands down, was a trip to Hawaii. I was surfing early one morning on the north shore of Oahu on this beach when I felt a big bump under my board. Now, at first I thought it was one of the big turtles that swim around in the Hawaiian waters, until I felt sharp teeth sticking into my leg and saw a big fin cruise past my face. So this 10-foot shark, which was either a great white or a tiger, depending on which shark expert you consult, circled me for a while. Then it eventually left, but still, no question, worst vacation ever. But at least it was unique, and it does make a good story. And in fact, that turns out to be another reason why experiences seem to provide more happiness than material things. Experiences make good stories, and in fact, people are liked better when they talk about their experiential purchases than when they talk about their material purchases. Now, this social value of experiences helps to explain the success of a remarkable business called Tough Mudder. So the people that you see here are not fleeing a disaster. They are paying customers. Tough Mudder puts on races with obstacles designed by the British Special Forces, including the burning hay bale obstacle that you see here. Now, what makes Tough Mudder so special has to do with this social value of experiences, and it's played a huge role in getting people to come back. When they started, they had just an $8,000 ad budget. In less than 2 years, they were able to accumulate 800,000 Facebook fans. And again, the key was social. Sure, a house is a material thing, a trip to space is an experience, but what about the wide range of products that lie in between? In fact, even a house you could kind of think of as an experiential purchase if you focus on the experiences that it provides, like dinner parties with friends, playing with the kids in the backyard, rather than its material components like the hardwood floors and marble countertops. Research shows that just thinking about exactly the same purchase as an experiential purchase rather than as a material thing can make people feel more satisfied with it. So almost no matter what you're selling, you can reap these benefits of experiences by just pushing people to think about the experiential aspects of the purchase rather than seeing it as a material thing.